Hello, welcome back to the We Are City channel for a new series here on the channel, a series that you guys have voted for. It's a new career mode alongside our Manchester City career mode, and it's a career mode with Leicester City. Chance for them to get back to winning the Premier League. We have an objective, we have an idea, and this is what we're going to go with. 3 seasons is our objective to win the Premier League here at Leicester City. Let's go through first the objectives the clubs have set us, and then for the objectives we have ourselves set us. So first is the club objectives. Confidence rating there at 80 currently under Brendan Rodgers. Within 2 seasons, increase the club worth by 20% through player sales and competition prize money rewards. Within 2 seasons, have at least 1 player from the youth academy signed in the first team, I think, and play at least 30% of the games in next season and get a streak of 3 wins in away matches this season. So youth development is obviously one we've already seen. We want to get the 3 games win also within 2 seasons experience, increase the team's experience level by getting an average age of the team up to 28. That is a bit of an odd one, really. Domestic success, it says win the Champions League place in the Premier League, which is what we want to do. We want to win the Premier League within 3 seasons, reach the semi-final of the FA Cup, and win the Europa League if possible, which would get us into European football. But we're not too interested in European football. It is all about the Champions League. And let's have a look at some of the objectives we're setting ourselves for these 3 seasons here at Leicester City. So these are the 5 objectives that you guys have suggested on the community posts and the videos and the comments and so on that we should follow in this career mode with Leicester City. So these are what we're going to be following. The first one is to win the Premier League. That is the idea of this whole series. To win the Premier League within 3 seasons. That is the aim. The second one is to qualify for the Champions League 2 out of the 3 seasons, whether that's via winning the Europa League or that is finishing in the top 4. But 2 out of the 3 seasons, we've got to qualify for the Champions League. The next one is to sell one of the top 5 highest rated players at the start of each season. So at the start of each season, we have to pick out the top 5 highest rated players in the squad, and we have to decide which one to sell. We have no choice but to sell one of them. So this season, I'll tell you who I've decided on. Next season, it will be someone else and so on. We have to sell one of them. So that means that it just makes it a little bit more challenging and a bit more realistic to how Leicester City will operate in real life, because of course, they won't be able to hang on to every single, world-class player that they have in the squad. Next, number 4 is maximum spend of 35 million per player signed. So we can't sign any players that are ridiculously good. We can't sign any players probably 82, 83 rated plus. Any player we sign has to be 35 million maximum. We can't sign any player for more than 35 million. That is just what we can sign them for. So we've got to look out for younger players, look out for players that cost less than that. Leicester's record signing is 40 million on Yuri Tillemans, and the next signing they made was Wesley Fofana for 31 million. So I thought 35 is just a sort of meet in the middle of what they've already spent, and we'll stick to that. And then finally, make signings that are realistic type of signing, and that's what you guys want most, I think, is realism, and we're going to try and keep it realistic. So sign players that are either linked with Leicester City or sign players that make sense for Leicester City to sign. You wouldn't see Leicester City signing, a 35-year-old Karim Benzema for 35 million because he's a good player and he's cheap. Nothing like that. They sign young players that are going to develop into players that they can then sell for bigger money, and that's the idea, and we're going to try and win the league with those players. So that is our objectives, our 5 objectives that we'll be following throughout this career mode. So they are the objectives and the sort of rules we've set ourselves for this career mode. Of course, this is season 1, so we are at the point of Leicester City are further on than us at the moment, but we have left the transfer window open. We do want to start making moves straight away. We want to start, trying to make a difference to this squad as soon as possible in this career mode, given we only have 3 seasons. Otherwise, we'd have to do 4 seasons if we didn't allow the transfer market. And there's a few areas of the squad I wish to improve on, a few areas that I think desperately needs improvement on. There's a couple of areas that I think are a bit of an issue, and we'll go through them now. So the first one is striker. Jamie Vardy is how old now? 30 odd. He must be 33, 34 years of age. Vardy is someone we need to think about, a striker. However, for the moment, we have Iheanacho and Patson Daka, which I'm going to say we'll go with. I'm happy with them as being the life after Vardy sort of up there. Next is a centre attacking midfielder. We have James Maddison, but we just don't have any other attacking midfielders in the squad. That is literally it. So we want someone to be, a young player. If we ever had to lose Maddison, to come in there. Lookman is going to be playing on the left wing, and he's also only on loans. We will lose him next season. We have to bring him back on a permanent. We want to bring in a right winger. Ayoze Perez is by far not good enough for the squad, and neither is Mark Albrighton. Both those players I have added to the transfer list. And then finally, the other 2 places are Kasper Schmeichel. I'd like someone to bring in as the life after Schmeichel, the same to Vardy, 34 years of age now, Schmeichel. I don't know how long he's going to stay at that 85 rated. Ward certainly isn't going to be the man for after Schmeichel, so we do need to look at a goalkeeper. So at the moment it's goalkeeper, right winger, a backup centre attacking midfielder, possibly a backup right winger, but I'm not too fussed for now, you know, someone that is a younger one for the future. And then finally, especially first team improvement wise, we do need a left back. Luke Thomas is not going to be a starter, he's going to be on the bench. James Justin is going to be converted to a right back since he's right footed, because in one of our rules it is our top 5 highest rated players every season, we must sell one. I've decided which one to sell, so we've got a choice of Vardy, Schmeichel, Ndidi, Tielemans and Ricardo Pereira. And I've decided the one I'm going to sell this season, I know Vardy's older, I know Schmeichel's older, I want to use Tielemans and Ndidi in that midfield. I think they're class. So the player we're going to sell is Ricardo Pereira. He will leave the club. James Justin will come in as the first choice right back. And then that means that we've got, you know, Justin and Castagna finding the right back situation. We bring in a left back to start ahead of Thomas. And the left back situation is sorted as well. We will probably get good money for Ricardo Pereira has been transfer listed. We've transfer listed a lot of younger players as well. Considering we only have 3 seasons, I'm not too fussed about developing players too much. Obviously, I want to develop Fofana and players like that are going to be first team players, but the likes of Amati, Benkovic, Daly Campbell, Chowdhury, they're never going to get a chance here at Manchester City, here at Leicester City. I'm so used to playing with City, I'm nearly calling them Manchester City. So we don't need to develop players. It's not about that. It's about, you know, instant success in 3 seasons, building a squad ready to be Premier League winners. So they're players that we're happy to move on as well. And of course, another objective is we only have a maximum of 35 million to spend per player. We cannot spend any more than that. We've got a big transfer list here. So goalkeeper, lots of scout reports to come back. So we aren't going to talk about transfers, but you can see we've got goalkeepers, we've got left backs, we've got right wingers, and we've also got a couple of strikers, centre attacking midfielders who can play as wingers as well in there. But some players are unattainable. You see, like Os Campos, he is worth 34 million, so we're never going to be able to afford him, considering we can only play 35 million. The same for Angel Correa there. So we've got our level of sort of player, but Leicester City sign players that they can develop for the future and sell for more money, and we're going to keep to that rule of keeping it realistic, the Leicester City way. And we'll just see how we do. We've got a pre-season tournament as well coming up, which we will simulate the games this pre-season tournament. I'm not interested in playing them. We'll simulate quick sim every single one, get straight into the season, straight into this career mode. And our first game is against Real Sociedad. We'll be using the first team in the pre-season. We want to get the players straight into sharpness so we can get them ready for the Premier League upcoming season. So a quick simulation against Real Sociedad, and it is Kelechi Iheanacho who comes on for Jamie Vardy and gets us a goal in the 78th minute to give us a 1-0 over Real Sociedad. The side with David Silva, Yarzabal, Alexander Isak in there as well. I'd like to see who started for them. David Silva did start, but he couldn't change the game for Real Sociedad. So we've already received a couple of transfer offers, and of course one other rule we have is if an offer comes in for a player that is a realistic offer and also a realistic move for the player, then we can't say no. You know, if Manchester United came in for Harvey Barnes, for example, this is Bayer Leverkusen, so we won't accept 28 million for, you know, Harvey Barnes. I'd say Leicester City sell him for around 50-60 million and not to a German side, so we'll reject that one. But if we do get an offer that is realistic, we can't hold players back, we've got to let them go. That just makes this career mode even more difficult to achieve what we want to achieve in 3 seasons. However, players that we do want to move on, Mark Albrighton, 6.8 million to Torino is a deal I'm happy to accept, and Hamza Chowdhury, 3.6 million to Udinese, that's another deal I'm happy to accept and get some money in the bank. I'm actually not quite sure what our transfer budget is. I haven't checked that yet. Let's have a look what our budget is for the season. We've got 41 million to spend and 590,000 wage budget. We'll be able to bump that down quite a bit, but that's what, considering we can only spend 35 million per player, that is just 2 players, and we're looking to bring in possibly 4. So an offer for Epia here from Malmo, we'll just accept that straight away, a young lad moving to the Swedish league if he accepts that move. And up next, it's Ajax in the pre-season tournament, away from home this time, or wherever we are in the Las Americas stadium it seems, against the Dutch side, again looking for another 3 points. And we get 1 point, 0-0 draw between us and Leicester City. Evans come on for Ndidi. Evans seems to keep coming on midfield for whatever reason, but we'll take a point at this stage in the pre-season tournament. And confirmation here that Mark Albrighton has been sold to Torino. That's 5 million added to our budget. But the talks for Hamza Chowdhury to Udinese have broken down. He might be one that's difficult to move on. So moves from Epia to Malmo have broken down, and Hamza Chowdhury is next. Another offer, this time from Club Brugge in Belgium. And up next is Palmeiras in the Brazilian league, aren't they? And we are there on 4 points. Ajax as well. Real Sociedad will be facing Ajax. They probably will get beat there. We need just a point here probably to be the ones to go through. We managed to pick up a 3-0 win against Palmeiras. It is goals from Tielemans, Barnes and Barnes again. I'm looking forward to Euro Tielemans this season because he will be leaving next season. That's for definite. He will be leaving next season. His contract is up. He is probably going to be leaving Leicester City in real life next season. So we're going to get at least 1 year of using Tielemans. And I'm excited to see what he does for us this season. Unfortunately, another breakthrough in transfer negotiations or breakdown. It's Challenger again looking not to move to Club Brugge. Well, Sevilla is next. Another game we'll quick sim. And we are defeated 5-4 on penalties. Sumare missing the crucial one to send the nearly Spanish champions through to, of course, the final, us out in the semi-final stage. Well, James Justin has completed his development to move to a right back, which is good to see, and then we'll get him as an attacking right back. I think he could be, that Kyle Walker level of player if he does progress like we hope he can do. Well, we continue to try and build up some money, and now it's Borussia Mönchengladbach. They've come in for Jose Perez, 11.4 million. We'll take that deal. We really will take that deal. That's building up our budget again, maybe, to get all 4 players that we look to sign. FC Porto approaches for Daniel Amati, 7.1 million. He is out of contract at the end of the season. That is another good deal for us, selling another player that we look to move on. Well, this is some bad news. Jose Perez's move to Gladbach has broken down. Moving on players is not so easy as we thought. And Daniel Amati's move to Porto has also broken down. This is frustrating, but we do need to go into the transfer market pretty soon. We are going to move into the transfer market pretty soon, hoping that we do a little bit better than this. So guys, after a few sales and with the Charity Shield game against Manchester City on the 1st of August approaching very, very quick, on the 25th of July now, we've had the pre-season tournament. It's about to start making moves in the transfer market. That's what we've got to do, and have a look at the players that we wish to bring in. So the main move we want to make in the market is a starting left back. That's something we need to look at, and we've got a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players here. So we're going to have a look at these, or 7 players. Have a look at these players. So first one is Aaron Hickey, 72 rated. Immediately that reveals he's not good enough. He's also right-footed, so he goes off the list. That's easily to rule him down. Vindel seems like a very good one, but he might cost, well, we can actually get him for less than 35 million. We can get him for 33.9 million. That's not too bad. There's Carlos Neiva, 27 million or so. Charlie Nike, too important for the club, they won't sell. That's fine by me. Pentabiani, 25 million. Robinson, 74, which is not good enough. And Sessegnon is again just another Luke Thomas, a young player. So it's between these 3, and we rule them out pretty quickly there, don't we? And we'll do the same for the goalkeeper, and we'll cut our shortlist down in every position. So goalkeeper, to me, if we can get this man under 35 million Kagia, then we've got the Schmeichel replacement. Turkish just seems to make sense. Cardenas doesn't seem quite good enough. Perrin is more of a backup, 28 years of age. So it's between Lavakovic and Kagia. So we've worked that down as well. Now for the right winger. We want 2 right wingers if we can. One who's going to be the starter and one who's going to be the backup. 77 rated is fine for me for a starter. So Chukwueze and Madueke both stand out to me as being fine. Cherky would be a backup. Dwight McNeil, I'm happy with that one. Enes Bardi would be more of an attacking midfielder for me, really. Dolan is just, I think, not even good enough to be a backup, really. De La Vega would be a backup. Kulusevski is going to cost way too much money. We can take him off the list. Brian and Burmo, I don't think is what I'm looking for either, in a way. We've got a couple of strikers here as well. Callum Hudson-Odoi is going to cost way too much. And the same for Wilfried Zaha. He's going to cost over 30 million, 35 million. We've got a couple of strikers here that could play in the wing, but I'm not so sure on these. So we'll remove these guys. And then finally an attacking midfielder that is going to be the man to play back up to James Maddison. Charles de Ketelaere has been really heavily linked with Leicester City, which I think is the most realistic option, but we're not going to sign him quite yet. So we've narrowed our transfer list so down, really, really well. It's time to look for what is the best. And the first one is a left back. Left back's massive for us, and I think the perfect Leicester City sort of player would be Owen Vindel. And we're going to try and pick him up for, less than 35 million. If not, we'll just pay his release clause. I know, Ben Spiani and Neva will be cheaper, but look at that. Vindel is higher rated than both, and he's a lot younger. That is the sort of player that Leicester City, in my eyes, would sign. So let's make a move for Vindel. One of the players we couldn't get rid of is Jose Perez. So I've put him in this deal, see if he go to AZ Alkmaar. No, they want 32 million. That's not too bad, actually. But I feel like we can get this down. 25 million. Remember, we can't pay on 35 million for a player. 32 again they asked for to AZ Alkmaar. I think we can get him for just under 30 million. I really do. 28 million. Brendan Rodgers thinks like that's a good deal. 32 once more. We'll pay a flat 30. We'll pay a flat 30 for Owen Vindel, who will come in and be our starting left back. 30 million. That is agreed. A new left back is on the cards, and that is the first signing we're going to make. We're going to go straight into the market now, make that signing, confirm this new left back, and he probably will start against Manchester City. He wants to be an important squad role. Contract length 5 years for the Dutchman. Agreed with that. No release clause, and now his wages. He's 80 rated. We're talking 60,000 per week here, I think. Even though he's only on 8,000 at the moment. Agreed by Owen Vindel. First signing for Leicester City. A new left back, a starting left back. The Dutchman, Owen Vindel, 21 years of age, 80 rated. What a signing that is. Under 35 million. We have signed our first player here in charge of Leicester City. Well, due to the transfers falling through quite a lot of times, I just started accepting offers and then I'd let you know if a player sold. And a player has sold. Hamza Chowdhury, after 3 attempts to sell him, has moved to Southampton. And we get 2.5 million added to our budget. So it's time for our first ever game here at Leicester City, and what a fitting one it is to play against a team that, of course, we support in Manchester City in the Charity Shield final. Chance for this first bit of silverware here at Leicester City. Chance to win a game against a team that we know very, very well. A side that Pep Guardiola has built, one of the best sides in world football. We know it's going to be a tough game. We will see a debut from Vindel, who will start today's game at left back, and we look to get the win that we're looking for. So we did say Ricardo Pereira is the one we've picked out to sell, but no one has made any offers for Ricardo Pereira quite yet, so he stays at the club, and of course if he's here, he will start. So Kasper Schmeichel, the captain, starts in goal. It's Pereira, Fofana, Soyuncu and Vindel in that back four. Immediately makes the defence look so much better, Vindel being in there, 80 rated. And Didi and Tielemans hold the midfield with Harvey Barnes on the left, Adoloma Lutwin on the right, and James Maddison in behind Jamie Vardy on the bench. Patson Daka and Kelechi Iheanacho, Ayoze Perez, Soumare, James Justin, Evans and Ward. And Evans has already decreased. He's one to look at for next season. A defensive change, an enforcement alongside Soyuncu and Fofana. So what a welcome our first game here at Leicester City. And we go to Wembley Stadium for a final. The FA Cup Community Shield, or the FA Community Shield, whatever you want to call it. Charity Shield it was once called. And we face the best team in England, Manchester City, the winners of the Premier League, against us, the former winners of last season's FA Cup. A strong side we're building, and we want to get to that level of Manchester City, and we don't even have to get to the level of Manchester City, really, do we? We just need to get to a level good enough to win the Premier League title. Cole Palmer's in the starting 11, it seems, for City. I'm going to be very interested in what their starting 11 is looking like, whether they've gone full strength, or they have made a few rotations for this pre-season sort of game. So this is the Manchester City side on the bench. Ederson, Laporte, Foden, Jesus, Grealish, Zinchenko and Liam Delap. And the starting 11 has a few rotations in it, mainly Zach, Steffen and Palmer, the ones that are not starters. So Steffen in goal, Walker, Diaz, Stones and Cancelo, the back four. Rodri, Bernardo Silva and captain Kevin De Bruyne in the midfield three. It's Mahrez on the right, Sterling on the left, and Cole Palmer in the false nine role. Interesting for Manchester City to play the false nine. No striker still at the club. And we face them today. Tielemans, he could fit in really well at Manchester City. I feel like they could be a side that come in for him next season. Maybe Manchester United as well. So City versus Leicester City. This time we're in the darker blue. We are playing against our side. And of course, playing against City. We've only got one thing in our mind. That's winning the game. A little bit too easily. Here's Cole Palmer. Lovely touch. Palmer and Sterling combine. And Ricardo Pereira reads it. Raheem Sterling picks it up and we're 1-0 down. Oh, he's offside, Sterling. Of course, former Leicester City player Riyad Mahrez in this Manchester City side. But that was a real calamitous mistake at the start there. Leicester were fantastic. Tielemans, what a switch. In the middle here to Jamie. Vardy with a header and 1-0 we lead, and it's as easy as that. Well, as long as Jamie Vardy is at a level that we expect Vardy to be at, he will be our starting striker. You know, he will be starting for as long as possible. I know he's 34 now. I know he's going to go decreasing in rating this season, 86 rated. What a ball out wide by Tielemans. And what a fantastic ball in by Harvey Barnes off that left-hand side. And Vardy with the first-time header past the American Zach Steffen. And we lead in the Community Shield here, just like that. And that actually excites me, how good we are attacking-wise. And Vardy's lethal in front of goal, we know that. Great finish from Vardy with the head. 1-0 Leicester against City. He will get his chance on the left if Barnes isn't playing, but Barnes has started really well. Walker's going to beat Barnes in the area. He's a difficult man to beat, Walker, however. He's left his post here. And here's Harvey Barnes. Look at the pace of Walker. Barnes slows down. Vardy. Tielemans. Maddison with a hit. Good block from Ruben Dias. But we are looking very, very good here. Into Maddison. Whoa, late challenge from Kevin De Bruyne from behind. Should be a yellow card for the Belgian. Wearing the captain's armband. It's not even a card at all. James Maddison has got the quality to score from these sort of areas. And I worry for City here. Because Maddison steps up. It's a dip, but not enough on it from Maddison. In the end, into the hands of Zach Steffen. Cancelo reads that one so easily. Sterling. Palmer. I think, you know, City will get on someone in that false 9 role ahead of Palmer, really. Mahrez. Oh, he's past Vindel. This is a chance for Manchester City here. Bit of a mistake at the back. Kevin De Bruyne. Soyuncu into Palmer. Palmer back to De Bruyne. And just one pass too many for Manchester City. Trying to be way too clever. And it cost them. And that is half time. Leicester City 1. Manchester City 0. Good start to this career mode, isn't it? With a performance like this so far. Tight to them. Keeping around them. Rodri. Palmer. Into Mahrez. He's left it for Kyle Walker. Then Mahrez has made a good run here. And Soyuncu stepped off him. And Mahrez clips one into De Bruyne. And good defending from us again. Oh, that's poor defending as Cole Palmer hits one towards the top corner on his weaker right foot. And we see Kasper Schmeichel make a fantastic save. They've got to start making substitutions, haven't they? And they do make a substitution. It's Liam Delap for Cole Palmer. Well, Pep there in the sidelines. He's got to think, we need a striker. We need a centre forward. We need someone to play that position. Bernardo Silva does swing one into John Stones with a hit, and it's a header off the line from, I think it is, Adeloma Lukman. Vardy. Maddison, counter Manchester City. Look for a ball through to Lukman, but Kyle Walker. He's just so good, is he? Oh, he's made a mistake, Walker. And he's made another mistake. This could be a red card for Kyle Walker. Well, a moment of madness from the England international. Just so much pace. He's been the one that we've really struggled to play against today, Kyle Walker. But he gives the ball away stupidly to Lukman when he looked like he dealt with the situation. And he dives in for the challenge. Is that in the box or outside the box, referee? It's outside the box. Maddison's going to have to hit a free kick here. But maybe he can hit this one in the top corner. James Maddison with a hit, and it's a mile over the bar from Maddison. Sterling. Vindel into Maddison, not the best of passes. Maddison goes back to Vindel and he can't keep that one in. Touches it into his face. Riyad Mahrez is off. He's had a shocking game against Vindel. I knew he was coming on. It is Phil Foden on that right hand side. Can he get at Vindel? Quite possibly. Mahrez has had no chance. Foden wins his side a corner off Maddison. Iheanacho nods it down. Vardy on the volley. Jamie Vardy should score. Given away. Soumare and Didi. Tielemans. Kelechi Iheanacho. Into Vardy. Vardy into Soumare on his debut, and the Frenchman, the number 42, maybe in homage to Yaya Toure, a Manchester City player, has planted one in the top corner of the Frenchman. 2-0 Leicester City. We are going to be Charity Shield winners in our first game here. What a finish this is, by the way. Iheanacho into Vardy. See Soumare bursting. That is an absolute rocket. Daka's going to come on for Jamie Vardy, but that is a wonderful finish from Soumare on his debut. Top corner, 2-0 Leicester against the 10 men of City. They are going to be defeated here today. De Bruyne. Bernardo Silva. Fofana across. Into Liam Delap here. Good save by Schmeichel. Into Tielemans, and again another poor pass by Vindel. He's had a great game. Made 2 poor passes towards the end. That is full time. We beat the 10 men of Manchester City. Kyle Walker with a ridiculous mistake at the back that gives Brendan Rodgers' his team a 2-0 win and means we are Community Shield winners on the opening day of the season, pretty much. Opening day of our season anyway. And out come the players, and our captain Kasper Schmeichel. He lifted the FA Cup last season. He's about to lift the Charity Shield here today. What else will he lift this season? Could he win the Premier League? Could we win the Carabao Cup or FA Cup? They're the sort of things we're looking for. Carabao Cup, FA Cup. I think they're more realistic for this season. But Leicester City are Community Shield winners. Well, Benfica have come in for Wilfred Ndidi for 33 million plus Julian Weigl. You know, that is never going to happen. It's not a realistic deal. And the one player we have to sell one of our top 5 players, Ricardo Pereira. Ajax for 42 million. Let's negotiate if we can get a bit more out of this. Or maybe there's an Ajax player we could bring the other way. Now, Ajax do have Anthony here, worth 50 million. I wouldn't mind getting him in the deal the other way, but he's worth 50 million. I don't think that's one that they'll agree to. He's going to be 100 odd million. And of course, there is another one that I'm looking at thinking, I wouldn't mind him, and that is Mohamed Kudus. But we're looking at Charles de Ketelaere, aren't we, as that attacking midfielder? And I think he's probably a more realistic signing for Leicester City, not Mohamed Kudus. So we will just ask for straight cash for Ricardo Pereira. And 45 million has been agreed between us and Ajax. Hopefully he makes that move there, and we have then completed our first objective of selling one of our top 5 players at the start of every season. Well, Liverpool of all teams seem to have some interest in Dewsbury Hall. We'll negotiate this one because we probably can get a good deal out of Liverpool considering the sort of money they possess. Well, we are looking for a player to be the man for after Johnny Evans, and Johnny Evans has already started decreasing. We're not looking at bringing a centre-back this season really, but Nathaniel Phillips here, Nat Phillips, worth 3.8 million. Could we perhaps say to Liverpool, we'll swap Dewsbury Hall for Nat Phillips. Nat Phillips, of course, then could be a 5th choice centre-back, one for the future here at the club. They're not interested in selling Nat Phillips at all. Jurgen Klopp just wants Dewsbury Hall on his own. So what about 5 million for Dewsbury Hall? We like midfielders anyway. 5 million agreed. Dewsbury Hall will join Liverpool. That is a big move for the young man. And a move really, I think, if it came in, if Liverpool came in for Dewsbury Hall, Leicester City would accept that. They really would, because that's a move he would want to make as a player. And confirmation here of Keenan Dewsbury Hall joining Liverpool. So that's a move made in the transfer market that we've made again. And now I think it's time to start looking at a right winger. It starts looking at the Ketelaere and also a backup right winger and a goalkeeper. So left back is sorted. Carlos Neva and Bentabiani will be removed there. A backup right winger is my initial one because Lookman's playing pretty well at the moment. It's between Pedro de la Vega, it's between Ryan Cherky, and that is it. So it's between them two for the backup. Between those two, Ryan Cherky seems like a Riyad Mahrez regen, doesn't he, in a way? He seems incredibly good for that position. The only thing is, I just don't see Ryan Cherky joining Leicester City at any point. I think he's just way too good, isn't he, to be joining Leicester City. However, they signed Yuri Tillemans and people like that. Perhaps Ryan Cherky is the man over Pedro de la Vega. Also, the goalkeeper situation is one, and I think actually we will address the goalkeeper situation first. Then we'll look at the starting right winger, the Ketelaere as well, and then the backup right winger. Plenty of signs yet to make. It's between these two, and it's whoever we can get cheaper. I think Kakia is the more Leicester City style goalkeeper signing. Livakovic is the backup, so let's go in for Kakia here. Just wondering if they'd be interested in taking Amati plus 18 million here. Would that be something they were interested in? Kelechi Iheanacho is a player they're interested in. Well, I don't want to be letting Kelechi Iheanacho go, but is there anyone else that sort of, I think, Ayoze Perez is another one that opens up the right wing spot massively. So 9 million of Ayoze Perez plus 20 million that is sort of his value. That's nearly 30 million we're paying for him here. 35 million now. That is over our amount that we can spend. But we will spend 30 million on the player if that is what they're happy with. 32, they come down already. They're looking at about 31 million. Again, we keep under our limit of 35 million for a player. 31 million for Kia leaves us with 22 million, which does mean we still need to do a bit of business to bring in any other players. That's a deal that's agreed. Welcome to the club. A new goalkeeper will be back up, but will definitely take up from Schmeichel in the future. That's what I'm excited about. So we just need to negotiate the contract here. Will be rotation for now, the 80 rated goalkeeper, which he is very happy in doing so. A 5-year deal will take him to 30. He wants a 3-year deal. Well, we'll meet in the middle at 4 years. The Turkey's happy with that. No release clause. Fine by Brendan Rodgers and Leicester City. And now he's 80 rated again. What do we offer Vindel? 60,000 per week. We'll offer the goalkeeper 60,000 per week. The goalkeeper accepts 60,000 per week. Could have gone maybe 30, gone half that. I don't think so. I think that is a good deal, really. Still under 100,000, way under 100,000. Welcome to the club. The man who will be replacing Kasper Schmeichel in the future is Kakia. Ricardo Pereira is still negotiating with Ajax. No, he's not. Ricardo Pereira has rejected Ajax. Well, that means we still haven't, completed our objective for this season. An offer came in for Maddison from Real Sociedad. Don't see him joining them. Don't see him joining Roma either. He would move to an English club. And Mendy, 3.2 million to Valencia. Accept that and hope that goes through. And now it's time for our opening Premier League game of the season. Leicester City versus Wolves, they're down in 19th, but that means nothing because it's the start of the season. Manuel Akanji and Eddie Nketiah are currently top goal scorers, both scored 1. And just looking at the transfers around the leagues as well, Koke has joined Paris Saint-Germain for 64 million, Mikel Merino for 69 million, 70 million to Liverpool, and Serge Gnabry has joined Manchester United for 105 million. Big deals going through. So this is the side for... This is the side for Wolves today, exactly the same side that we just saw beat Manchester City 2-0 in the Charity Shield final. No changes at all. Only one change or two changes on the bench. Vestergaard comes in for Evans, who will be the man who starts more games ahead of Evans. And Kakir as well. Here he comes on the bench. A goalkeeper that he's won definitely for the future. Only 25 years of age. That is pretty young for a goalkeeper, and he will be the successor to Kasper Schmeichel. I think Daka will be the successor to Jamie Vardy. And they're the two positions in the squad where you'd say the players were the oldest. We're still looking to move on Pereira. Otherwise, we'll have to start trying to accept, if any moves coming for Tielemans and Didi, Schmeichel or Vardy, we'd have to accept them. So Pereira is the one out there, those 5 I do want to sell. So today we play Wolverhampton Wanderers. Two sides from sort of near the Birmingham area. Leicester City just a bit above at Birmingham, aren't they? But that way on. So local sides really, in a way, to each other. Wolves have got a really good side, haven't they? Wolves have got a really good side. They've built a great side. Again, another good midfield like ours. Neves and Moutinho. We've got Ndidi and Tielemans. I think ours is a little bit better. But a side that are strong and a side that will maybe give us a couple of problems today. But we look so solid defensively against Manchester City. And we are welcomed back at home to the King Power Stadium today as, of course, Charity Shield winners. So this is the Wolves side. Jose Sarr starts in goal, back 5 of Semedo, Bolly, Connor Cody, Roman Saiz and Johnny. In the midfield it's Ruben Neves and João Moutinho. And the front 3, Adama Traore, Raul Jimenez and Daniel Podence. On the bench I assume Pedro Neto, yes, Yankee Chan, Kilman Belotti, new signing, Danny Garcia, Marcel and John Ruddy. Good Wolves side. Belotti I expect to come on and possibly make his debut at some point, but Jimenez starts today's game. So it's Leicester City versus Wolverhampton Wanderers, and he is live from the King Power Stadium. Pereira goes to Vardy first time, I think would have been offside. And now Podence up against his fellow international. Pereira again. Gotta go backwards. Podence. Little back heel. Johnny. Pereira still wrapped up in Podence. Jimenez. Good football from Wolves. Here's Podence to the far post. Adama's in there. Good header by Adama. Gets his body in there ahead of Vindel, but the absolutely stacked winger there. You just see the size of him. Great pass. I really do like James Maddison. Looks like a top quality player. Barnes into Vardy. Vardy in behind to Harvey Barnes. He's up against Semedo here. Maddison again. Ndidi. Tielemans. Looks to work it wide, and he's tackled late by Saiz, but in time enough to win the ball. Vindel, that's the late one from the Dutchman. He will get his first yellow card as a Leicester City player in his first Premier League game. Traore had gone past him and Vindel just dived in and made sure Traore wasn't bursting away there on the counter. A smart foul, but it does mean he's going to play the rest of this game on a yellow card. Here's Moutinho. Here's Pereira across on Podence. Well done, Ricardo Pereira. Tielemans. Ndidi. Good play by Barnes and Vindel. And Vindel looks for Harvey Barnes, who takes a touch. And Harvey Barnes with a head, and Jose Sarr saves, and Barnes back across the box. And I think he just touched this one out of play. That's great football again. Those runs from the wingers and fullbacks, really well found there. We've got that midfield who's got the quality to find them in those positions. Well done, Ndidi, once again. Ndidi out to Adama. We've got to be careful putting tackles in. Vindel. Semedo's past him. Soyuncu wide. Oh, he's past Soyuncu as well here. It's a great run from Semedo. Vindel with a foot in. It's a foul by Vindel. He's on a yellow card. He's got to be careful. Not much of a foul, but the referee might be tempted into giving him a second yellow soon. Fofana odds this one away. Vindel into Vardy, and the referee will blow the half-time whistle surely. No. Lookman. Vardy, and then he does blow it. As we just start to get on the counter and feel, maybe we will get one. Referee blows the half-time whistle. Leicester 0, Wolves 0. Oh, poor pass by Maddison. Oh, and then a great bit of play from Daniel Podence as he bursts away from 2. And Wesley Fofana across again. He's going to be sold for a big amount of money, by the way, at some point in this career mode, I feel. He's just so good. This is great football. Lookman. Vardy. Lookman again. Lookman across to James Maddison. Still might be a mistake here from Wolves. Barnes. Oh, skips around Semedo. Vardy. Jamie Vardy with a hit. A good save from Jose Sarr. Lookman's got quite a bit of pace to him. There's Adaloma Lookman, and he's bursted away here, Lookman. And a good touch again by Lookman. And Adaloma Lookman looks for the near post, and it's a save from Jose Sarr. Didn't quite trust the pullback to Vardy. I think it was on Maddison, whoever it was, without being intercepted. Fofana is still injured. Well, that's terrible news. Yannick Vestergaard's going to come on. Yannick Vestergaard, who has currently got 0 sharpness, but on he comes, the Dane. Potency's off of Wangi Chan. But that is a big shame that Fofana's got to come off here. One thing it does mean is Yannick Vestergaard is in the box for this corner. He's crossed into Vardy really well. So Soyuncu down. Lookman. Maddison, who's onside. Cross into Traore. Traore with a bullet header. The Spaniard over the bar. It's been dangerous. Vindel's got to be careful here. Why they go to Wangi Chan? Velotti. Chan across the box. It's a Moutinho. What a block from Vindel. We're going to make a change. I'm thinking Pereira for James Justin. More of a forward-thinking player, perhaps, and Soumare or Daka. Vardy's not been at it today, but he can get that goal at any point, can't he, Jamie Vardy? That's the thing. We're going to get Ndidi off for Soumare. Well, we're out of substitutions. Well, forget about it. You know what? Ndidi for Soumare. Pereira back on. Ndidi for Soumare. Soumare scored in that previous game, didn't he, with a wonderful finish. Oh, and that pass into Pereira had to make it, really. Been a scrappy game, really. Two pretty well-matched sides. Adama. Vindel and Soyuncu can't stop Adama Traore. Adama pulls it across the box. It's a finish for Wolves in the 89th minute. It's Johnny, the wing-back. And that shows we've got a long way to go, I feel, to be Premier League champions now. It changes just like that, doesn't it? In the first game against Manchester City, I watched it and thought, you know what? We could win the Premier League this season. It might not even take 3 seasons. I'd take that all back. Wolves have just scored a late winner. Traore skips past a couple of challenges. Wonderful pullback. And a great finish from Johnny on his right foot. Soumare will come on for Ndidi. But that is a terrible start to a team that want to get top 4, losing to Wolves, who also will want to get top 4. Here's Maddison. We do need to make some signs, don't we? Some changes in this side definitely needed. Here's Maddison still. And Johnny wins it back off him. Brilliant by the Spaniard. And that is full time. A 1-0 defeat to Wolves in our opening game of the season. That is incredibly disappointing. Well, terrible news. Wesley Fofana will be out for 3 months. That means at some point we might have to play Wilfred Ndidi at centre-back, if that's what it goes to. But 3 months out for Fofana. What did I say in that game? I said Wesley Fofana, I think, is going to go for a big amount of money at some point in this career mode, because he's absolutely incredible. And then he goes and gets injured like that. It's just so frustrating, isn't it? He was going to grow so much as well. Ricardo Pereira, we're going to, again, this time to Leipzig, agree 45 million, I think, was a better deal for him. Is there any Leipzig players are interested in? Well, that's one we could look at.